Welcome back, everyone, to Democracy 3 Extreme Liberal. So, we're not popular. Not in the slightest. A lot of that is due to the debt crisis. Internet crime, purchasing power crime, and tobacco tax, they cause a little bit of unhappiness too, but overall, people just don't like me. They don't like liberals. So let's see, what we're going to do, we're going to implement a luxury goods tax. Socialists, extremely happy with that. Wealthy, not happy at all. But you know, the wealthy are actually a really small portion of our entire community. Middle income. That's half of the population. I can manage to make them happier. This will all turn out well. It's going to take some effort, but I think we can do this. Public smoking ban? Yes, we'll ban public smoking. Still just 1% of the vote. We can do this. Honestly, doing the liberal position has not been a good idea either. Neither position works on its own. I think that is kind of becoming very apparent if you are actually watching and looking at the reasons for both positions. I'm actually going to skip a turn because something we're going to do may shock you. But look at this, we managed to stop antisocial behavior. He is kind of upset. Farmers and religious people. I'm sorry. And we're going to allow this because screw that. GM food is not harmful. What? I didn't get anything. Most of my people only give me one per turn. Reshuffle the cabinet. We have to. I need to get better people in here. Conservatives and religious. No. Going for foreign policy. Who is good for foreign policy? We'll go with you, because I'm actually going to go with ethnic minorities. And capitalists, they're not exactly against me. Go with you, because I've been doing a good thing for patriots. Did I even give a good... it doesn't matter. Economy. Who's good for economy? Economy is going to be... you. Alright, for tax... I just need to get good political power right now. Public services... I guess you. Law and order. We can go with you because farmers are perfectly fine. Transport. Transport. I'll go with you. Okay. So, next turn. Hey, we have a high amount of productivity. There's racial riots. Vigilante mobs have ended, though. I'm gonna get no votes. Oh my god. Seriously, picking either option is a mess. One extreme or the other. You're gonna do crap. I'm just a couple points short. 1 point. All I needed was 1 point. There's a brain drain, children's food. We have to regulate that shit. Honestly, you might notice that I've just kind of stopped caring. I only got 2 points from this last one? What? No. Yeah, whatever. Okay, the reason we're implementing a flat tax, socialists may not like it, but it is the most fair tax that you can do. And when we ban the income tax, we're only going to drop we're going to get an overall increase of a small amount. Actually, I could probably really lower the income tax and just keep it in place. I can lower it to about like 10%. Okay, next turn. Extreme nationalism has developed. Minimum wage. Let's introduce the law. Look at that. We've actually managed to get our income to match our expenditure. No one likes it. But we're going to drop this to 10%. Okay, so overall, things have gone pretty crappy. We've gotten one thing better than the conservative playthrough, which is amazing. We got high productivity. Ugh. So, has either option really been good? No, I don't like doing either option. Both of these are stupid. They involve you doing stupid things to appease a group that is so extreme that you're not going to actually be able to run a country very well. Let's see, let's just abolish this completely. It's going to make liberals super happy, so I have to go with it. Alcohol use is going to rise, which we can actually take advantage of next turn. And I think I might actually be on the final page, final term. I'm going to get no votes, which I don't really care about anymore. I'm too short to implement an alcohol tax. That is such a shame. But you know what? I don't care. I've managed to do decent with the income. I rose it a little bit. I dropped the expenditure. But let's face it, guys. Going with one direction or the other in the United States, and only going with that direction, is a doomed failure. If you go complete liberal, no one's going to care about you. Even though you have a lot of the country that approves a lot of the liberal stuff. Middle income, there's nothing you can do to appease them. And there's got to be something that makes the middle income happy. Actually, there is one thing that makes the middle class fairly happy indeed. I believe it's these selective schools. It causes a bit of an education gap, but middle income people are quite happy at that because it makes their kids special. There's also this adult education stuff which cuts down on skill shortage, increases productivity and education, all of which are very good things to do. But overall, it's just not pleasing people in this country. A lot of the things that exist, it just goes one way or the other, and you don't have a middle ground to make anyone happy, really. But let's see how horribly I did in the election. Oh my god. Never once in this entire game, never once, have I gotten 0%. But let's look at what I did when I did all liberal stuff. I increased violent crime a huge amount. I don't know how I did that, but I did. Violent crime rose, but crime overall dropped. Very interesting confliction there. Health rose, education rose, poverty increased. Now, key thing here, poverty increased because the liberal position isn't really about decreasing poverty. It's about equality, which I rose. See, now, if I went ahead and did both options of going extreme liberal and extreme social, I think things would have turned out a little bit differently. But I didn't. I stuck to liberal mostly. Environment increased under my reign. Car usage dropped a lot. Technology went up. Working week went up. Is that a good thing? I don't really know. Unemployment took a huge hit. Now, a lot of this is because unemployment... interesting. Productivity dropped, yet I managed to get a high state of productivity bonus. Very weird. See, in the US, if you do anything to make the wealthy upset, they take it out on the people. So if you do anything to charge the rich more money, more people get fired. So that's kind of a wash. CO2 emissions dropped by 50%. Energy efficiency, that went up. International trade, that was good. Air travel dropped by a lot. Racial tensions just skyrocketed, and I think that might be because there is still a lot of lingering racial tension from the US's past. In reality, that would be the case. Foreign relations, that went up pretty good. Oil demand, huge drop in that. Oil supply dropped as well. But the oil price went down by 20%, which is always a good thing. Poor earnings went up a lot. Middle earnings, that took a huge hit. High earnings, that also took a big hit. None of that is good for the economy. GDP, that dropped a lot. Private healthcare dropped. Private housing dropped. Private stuff all dropped. Tobacco usage went down. Alcohol consumption went down. Traffic congestion also went down. Tourism went up. See, I have a lot of greens here, but the main reds, the GDP and the middle earnings, those were huge, huge hits. And violent crime, that just awful. And notice, in both cases of going extreme liberal or extreme conservative, purchasing power dropped a lot. So what's my overall verdict on this? Well, yes, I kind of just said fuck it all when I was on this last liberal episode. It's because I knew no matter what I would do, it would be a failure. In both cases, it was a complete failure. And that's because it doesn't matter which side you are on of this debate, liberal or conservative. It doesn't matter. Both options have their positives, but both options have huge negatives. And while the conservative position may have less negatives short term, long term it's going to lead to a lot of serious problems. The liberal position on quite a few things has very good stuff short terms, or has very good stuff for a smaller group of people. But economically, the liberal position relies heavily on the rich. which is a very interesting position. Honestly, I think both sides are stupid. This is why I'm not a liberal or a conservative. I take a look at both positions, I weigh the options, and I see which one seems to make the most sense. That's why I'm a progressive. Because that's what progressivism is. It is seeing which option leads to the best outcome for that particular situation and going with that. Not which option seems the most comfortable to you personally and sticking with it, which is both the liberal and the conservative position. Neither of them are really about changing things for the better in all instances. It is about changing things for the better in a very select, individualized instance, not looking at the effect overall. And that's why in both instances I have failed in this multi-playthrough series. I think I'll actually pick this up again after all these episodes come out, and I'm going to do a progressive playthrough with America and see if I get any different results. It could just be that America is doomed in this game, at least. But I'll let you in on a secret. I've done a progressive playthrough in multiple different countries in this game. Like, I've done progressive in UK and progressive in Germany, and a little bit in France, though I didn't ever finish that one. In all three, I was doing great, and the country was doing amazing. Yes, there was a problem of the rich always leaving me. But it didn't matter because I wasn't relying on the rich in either instant, in any of those instances, to make the country successful. I made the country successful through the power of the people, not the power of the rich. Okay, so that's it for this series. What do I have to say leaving off? Don't vote liberal. Yeah, there's the thing there's why I said just listen to my playthrough of the liberal side. Don't stick with either one. If you go with conservative, you go with a position that neglects social issues. If you go with liberal, you go with a position that kind of neglects economic issues, but not too much overall. Both of them neglect economic issues for a lot of different categories. But yeah, both of them are not very good. I think I did actually a worse job of being a liberal than I did of being a conservative. And that's because I was focusing too much on the fact that everything I did led to less popularity as a liberal. So yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and fave, and especially subscribe if you want to see what I do with a complete progressive playthrough. A complete, I do what I feel is best for running a country playthrough. I kind of did that before, but I was more hesitant on doing things, and I know a lot more politically now than I did back then. So take care, guys. I will see you in another series, whatever that may be. Take care, and goodbye.